A round the island race was scheduled for Saturday, but strong winds meant a change of plan was needed. With up to 30 knots from the south-southwest sweeping the Solent, the race committee set a course in Hayling Bay to keep the fleet out of the worst of the weather. The first mass start for all the classes off the squadron line resulted in a general recall, but the fleet got away cleanly at the second attempt. This race was to prove to be a triumph for the GBR Red team, with all three boats winning their classes. John Shepherd's Fairdew 7 led the way east off the line, reaching at around 12 knots under a jib top and staysail. Fairdew 7 led Class 1 around the racecourse, but it was close on handicap, with the Island White boat Antics Isle finishing just 15 seconds astern on corrected time. In Class 2, Erivale 3 won by just 39 seconds, ahead of Island White's Jump Juice. GBR Red's small boat Quokka 7 had an easier time, finishing almost 3.5 minutes ahead of France Blue's prime time. With the other boats in France Blue, Bastille and Lady Courier, both scoring 8ths in this race, their team now stood 32.5 points adrift of GBR Red, while Island Green were pressing the French just 4.5 points behind. Sunday's final race was a double point-scoring affair, and with a southerly of 30 knots and more lashing the Solent with rain and poor visibility, the task for GBR Red was to avoid any mistakes, which could cost them the title. Class 1 got away clean, with John Shepherd's Fairdew 7 getting a good start as they headed into the murk towards the windward mark on the island shore. Class 2 had a general recall for their first start, but the second one was trouble-free. Class 3 were led away by Teng Tools in Island White at the leeward end of the line as they headed after the larger boats up the beat. In Class 1, Tiamat for Island Green was going well, as was Antics Isle for Island White. For once, Fairdew 7 was not out in front, although she was chasing hard. Holmatro in Netherlands Red was going quite well, while behind her, Dark and Steamy, sailing in GBR Black, rounded the mark as checkmate in Netherlands White missed it entirely and had to tack round to try again. The run was a testing leg for boats in all classes, as heavy gusts caused gear failure and broaches were common. Few boats tried to jibe their spinnakers and most sailed part of the runs under jib and main. The Dutch boat Rourke had been going well all week, and she took second in Class 2 to end the regatta as the top individual boat. Only disqualification or serious gear failure could keep GBR Red from winning the title, but with boats breaking across the course, anything could still happen. And for France Blue it did, with Lady Courier one of 5 boats in Class 1 which failed to finish. Fortunately for the Brits, their luck held, with Fairdew 7 finishing second in Class 1 and Peter Rutter's Quokka 7 taking 4th in Class 3, it didn't matter that Jerry Otter's Erivale 3 could do no better than 9th in Class 2. The trophy was theirs. For the French it was a disaster, as they slipped to 4th place overall, while Ireland White sailed a blinder to leap into 2nd place as Ireland Green dropped to 3rd. The prize giving at the Royal Yacht Squadron was packed as all the competitors celebrated a superb regatta and the most competitive Commodores Cup so far. And for the winners, there was the satisfaction of a 2-year campaign that set a new standard for those aiming to win the next event in 2010.
So you just won the Rolex Commodores Cup. How does it feel?
Well, I think it's pretty good, pretty extraordinary. I think that it's been a great event, a good team event. We've acted all together and it's successful, well planned, well organised, well executed.
And going into the event, how confident were you?
The quality out here is exceptional. The Irish and the French, by many people and ourselves, are supposed to be the favourites. And sailing is a sport where the dice are rolled many times. If you are good enough, however many times the dice are rolled, you'll win. But gosh, it was a hard event. John makes it sound very easy and very simple. It was bloody hard work for a lot of us.
And was there any time in the event that you were getting concerned about the opposition?
Every day. Probably in midweek where we only had a 2.5-point lead. I think on the Saturday where we just had what can only be described as a remarkable result, 3 firsts, each and every boat. It was just fantastic. It extended our lead to 30 plus points, which gave you a little bit of confidence going into the last day. And fortunately, because I didn't sail very well today, my compatriots here, they sailed very well. And yeah, they pulled everything through and still won by a decent margin.